again, Bryce Detroit. Shout out Detroit African Music Institution, Detroit Recordings Company, Entertainment Justice, 21st Century Hip Hop. All right.
I'm Danielle Scott. Shout out to United Sound Systems Recording Studio. I'm the owner.
Pirahnahead, Arrangineer, Soul Orchestra Incorporated, and engineer here at United Sound Recording Studios.
Piper Carter, the Foundation of Women in Hip Hop.
So wanted to bring us together to get different perspectives as it relates to Detroit's music economy on migration, displacement, and integration. What is your own personal experience with displacement as it relates to culture in particular?
From personal experience, I think that my mother was the original accounts payable at Motown. So if you go to Motown right now, they have the time card. There's one time card in there. It's my mom's. And my mom was from Black Bottom. She grew up on Waterloo Street. She went to Eastern High School. And she went to Miller. And these are really like iconic spaces because this is where everyone that was a part of Motown is from this neighborhood, Black Bottom. And so my mother always has all these wonderful stories about Motown, and then she has this really deep and sadness about how her high school isn't there anymore, how her neighborhood isn't there anymore, how there's a freeway right in the middle of her neighborhood, and she tells a lot of stories around the destruction of the Black community and her idea, pre and post industrial. I experienced hearing those stories firsthand again and again and again, and how there was a really strong negative impact on the Black community, the strength of the Black community, the strength of the Black dollar, the strength of the Black business, because of the destruction of Black Bottom. And how there was a sense of pride and community as a result of what Berry Gordy did through creating Motown. And then regarding like my relationship with displacement, my high school that I went to, Northwestern High School, is the building is physically there, but it was closed down. And so now my mother and I share this history of coming from this place that's so iconic and amazing, yet the places that shaped us are no longer there. Yeah, I would say that.
Equally the same for me. As I was speaking earlier, like, in my neighborhood, St. Clair, between Jefferson and Kirchville, you had all these, little grocery stores, well, not groceries, but, liquor stores, corner stores, and things of that nature. So, there was one spot there on Kirchville, right at St. Clair, called Dean's Den. We called it the bakery because they had everything. Like, you could go in there and get burgers, hot dogs, Polish sausage, candy, ice cream, groceries, and little things like that, play video games, and buy records. So, you know what I mean? Like, if there was the new Planet Rock is out, bam, so-and-so out, that was the first place that I had ever seen certain records at from a kid. And, next to it sat Alabama Style Chicken. Next to that was another liquor store. Next to that was, these things. And then this neighborhood, basically, coming up, I had culture all around me.
Well, my perspective of displacement, and I think back, I don't know how old I was, but I think about my mom and dad. They were artsy. I don't think of myself as artsy, They sang, they danced. My dad would take us to a studio where he did modern dance, and of course, people don't do that anymore. But however, he would just go and do modern dance. The family, the uncles would sing. They would sing. All get together. Everybody would always sing. Everybody wanted to be artists. And everybody was still trying, and this is early 70s, obviously, and I couldn't have been no more than 5 or 6. everybody wanted to, was still chasing Motown. You know, they were still chasing that until crack hit the scene.
Dig it.
Okay, so a lot of that generation, which is before us, you know, they still sang. They was just high on the corner, you know, right? They was high on the corner. They was still singing. You know, you walk by and you're like, what's going on?
Eddie Kane still got it.
Exactly. And so, far as Displacement, I just remember everything just a spiral, downward spiral. And far as the music is concerned, with that downward spiral, the history started becoming lost because nobody could tell it because they were too high to pass it on.
And that's one
so,
of the,
of course, I got to take my memory to pass it, but I only can take what I remember because at some time they stopped talking about it.
Right.
You know,
right? And because at the same time in Detroit back in those days, you know what I mean. We seen Detroit go from a community to if you messed up down the street, you
got in trouble down there,
right?
And then
you got home, right?
Got home,
exactly.
and got in trouble,
right?
So we came from that
to don't say nothing to my kid.
To don't say nothing to my kid. We went from we saw a city get ravaged, by a drug,
A whole destruction of the culture was created, and people know that music is how we speak. We speak through music. That's our spiritual, I always say that funk is our religion in Detroit. And so the removal, as you spoke to, of music and art education from the school system. See, our parents all know how to read music and play an instrument. Right. If they're a doctor, lawyer, whatever, that was a staple. Music and art, it's obvious all those things are related to science. And
like she said, my mom, just like your mom, my mom can draw now freehand. I'm amazed. And I tell you, she was the one on the street. So, but she can draw. She can sing. She probably can read music. She can dance her behind off. And she's educated. She was college educated. My mother's college. I'm not. But like I said, but that power took all of those. It wasn't that they didn't know or they were uneducated. They were dummies or none of that. She had it going on. Her and my dad. They were one of those, like you said, they were too smart for their own good. We gotta get you out of here. Right. So, at the end of the day, there goes your culture. There goes that whole structure. Because either, like she said, either it's wiped out, or we gonna make it where it's out of reach. Most of the things are here, and people will say, "Oh, it's here, it's there, it's out of reach." It's out of reach. Like. Not that it's everything is attainable, but you got to fight for it. You got to be willing to put your boots down in the ground and get busy. And that's it. So, and I believe that's what we all are trying to do. Yeah. We go bump it. We gonna be here. We about to get busy.
That's what we do.
We about to start. We gonna make sure that this don't die. Right. And it's off of what we know, and we don't even know it all.
Right.